If you think that businesses are built upon working harder, you're already losing out. Businesses today are built on the relationships and how you actually nurture those relationships going forward. So in today's video, I want to make sure that you are thinking about the relationships that you've already made and how you can continue to nurture them. Now, before we dive into this, I want to invite you to apply for my business mastermind. You're going to hear more information about it, but I wanted to make sure that you heard about it right in the beginning so that you can pop into the description and make sure that you apply. All right, first things first. When it comes to actually building relationships, it has to start to think about the people that are already in your network. Now, networking isn't about getting business cards and being salesy with each other. Really, it's about actually creating those natural relationships. Some of you listening may be thinking, well, where do I start? Do I have to go to networking events? It doesn't have to start there. Simply getting onto podcasts and having interviews there is a great way to start. And then as you build relationships with other podcasters or other YouTubers, then you're able to build upon not only their networks, but then refer and recommend others that are a good fit. When you're able to do this, it can make a huge difference. For me, being on one podcast can end up in someone joining a mastermind or becoming a full-time client. There are so many things that you can do with this. So really start thinking about who are the people within your network and how can you start to utilize them better. When you're networking with people, it's not about trying to be salesy. It's really about trying to better understand their business and their needs. And they need to be, of course, doing the same thing. So you need to be listening to each other, understanding what pain points they actually solve, so that if you have a client or someone else in your network that would be a good fit for them, then you can refer them. You can recommend them. This is where true networking really evolves from. So as you are starting to think about how can I find the right people to network, you really need to be finding the people that are solving somewhat similar pain points as you are, maybe to the same audience, but might have more other strengths that you're not quite as good at. So for example, if you are a therapist and your niche is primarily first responders, and you have someone come to you that is going to be not only a first responder, but actually is an officer, then you may want to refer them out to someone that is very specific and within the niche of primarily working with officers, like Cindy Doyle. So as you are thinking about this, start to think about who it could be a good fit for you. How could you just go about starting that relationship, having a coffee chat? And you don't want it to be, can I pick your brain? It needs to be, I want to know more about your business so that I can help you. It needs to be a mutually beneficial relationship, not where you're trying to get something out of it from the pitch that you're sending to them, to the invite that you're sending that to them. You want to make sure that it's inviting and showing that you really are trying to get to know them better so that you can start helping grow their businesses as well as continue to grow yours potentially from their clients or audience. People traditionally want to help those that help them. You will always find that you are going to be more willing to help someone that's already helped you. So it goes twofold. You want to help someone in order to feel that it will come back and they will also help you in the future. So it's the idea of paying it forward, making that little ripple, making that relationship start to grow so that in the future, they can pay that back. People are much more amicable to do it that way when you are creating these types of relationships. It's also really important that not only that you have a reciprocal relationship, but you approach this from an area of not out of obligation, but of actually trying to benefit them, trying to help them from a point of really listening to what it is that they do and how they do it, and trying to see what could mutually benefit both of you, as well as, of course, their business, because then, like we said, they're likely to pay it forward in the future. There are specific types of networking that actually work better than most. The first is going to be peer networking, reaching out to those that you know are in the same industry as you are, and potentially meeting up for coffee or even hopping on a Zoom call if you don't live within the same state. When you start to create that out of a place of, again, a reciprocal relationship, trying to help each other to move forward, that is when you are going to find the best relationships actually develop. The next type is a mentorship, where you might actually be looking to find someone that is going to not only have their own network of people that they could potentially refer to you, but can also help you in your business. May have more of an experience in certain aspects, or may have different strengths than you have. So for example, in many of my masterminds, I make sure that there are individuals within that group that have different strengths. So I'll have someone that has a great strength in YouTube, understands the ins and outs, has grown it, is developing it, is selling products from it, while I may have someone else that's done a really great job of understanding how to grow their email list and is actually selling directly from it. This way, they both can benefit from each other. So when you are looking for a mentorship program, sometimes this might be a paid program like one of my masterminds, or you might be able to find someone where you can actually barter to be able to gain their knowledge when it comes to that mentorship relationship. The next type of relationship is strategic collaborations. Now, we often see this a lot of times with podcasts or YouTube channels, where you will actually invite a guest onto your show and then they will have you on their show. By doing this, they are getting actual FaceTime with your audience, and you in turn are getting that same engagement with their audience. So these types of relationships where it's a strategic collaboration, really starting to try to figure out how you can both help each other, is going to benefit both of you. And then the last type of relationship is going to be an event type, where you might be reaching out to someone in order to invite them to participate in a summit, or to speak at your retreat, or to speak at a conference maybe that you host. And in turn, by inviting them to speak, they are then sharing their audience, they're promoting your actual event that you're hosting, and it will therefore help you as well. One of my absolute favorite things about Mastermind is that I take all 4 of these types of networking and combine it so that we are able to have different types of relationships within the group. So you can have a group that isn't exactly in the same industry. They may be in different specialties, or they may have entirely different niches. And therefore, they're still able to interact with each other, either to learn from each other from a mentor standpoint, where someone is stronger at one strategy or another, or from the standpoint of you can still potentially have the same audience, even if you're in entirely different industries. So for example, if you are a therapist that is going to be working with, let's say you are working with grief, you may find that your audience is the same as potentially someone that is doing healthy meals for people that might be over 50, that are going through perimenopause or going through menopause. So even though you might be in entirely different niches, you may still have overlapping audiences. So figuring out ways potentially to collaborate are always helpful. And this is what I make sure to do within my masterminds. I pick, based on the applications that are put in, who are the best fits for each other. Now, if you are someone listening and you're thinking, okay, tell me a little bit more about this mastermind. A mastermind is going to be 5 to 7 women in a group. We meet 3 times a month for 6 months. This way, you are doing 2 sets of 90-day goals. We review your goals and we continue to give you the accountability that you need over the course of those 6 months. Now, you're also, during that time period, you will have 1 hot seat per month where you're going to come and ask a specific question about your business to the group and get their feedback and strategies that can actually move your business forward. So if you're someone listening in and you are interested in joining a mastermind to move your business forward in this year, I want you to hop into the description and fill out an application today.